Hello, Alyssa Knapp here, and today I'm going to be talking about something that's on a lot of people's minds right now, and that is how to strengthen your immune system and how to boost your immune system. So, we're going to talk about things on a different level, but I want you to walk away from this conversation with 5 tips, 5 things that you can do right now to help boost your immune system. So, the very first thing to remember is that we are more than just a physical body, right? Our emotions influence how we feel in our immune system. Our mental thoughts and beliefs are going to affect how our body works on a physical level. And then there are energy components as well. So you can go back to my video on an intro to Reiki if you want learn a little bit more about that energetic piece of things. So, first, let's get into the physical aspect, right? So, how do we support our physical body in a way that's going to help our immune function? So, movement is going to be very, very important. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to necessarily go to the gym every day or do some type of, crazy program that maybe you don't feel like you have time for or something like that. But moving a little bit more than wherever you currently are is going to give you a huge benefit. So, how much do you want to be moving? Well, the American College of Sports Medicine does suggest at least 150 minutes per week of moderate intensity aerobic exercise or cardiovascular exercise. So this could be like walking, swimming, the elliptical, the bike, things like that. Anything where you're moving your body and your breathing rate is increasing, your heart rate is increasing, and you can do it at a higher intensity, at a higher level for less minutes. You get a little bit more bang for your buck that way. But whatever you can do, anything is going to be better than nothing. And another little trick of the trade is getting in a minimum of 10 minutes at a time. So if you can get 10 minutes in, maybe before you start your school day or work day, 10 minutes in the middle of the day and 10 minutes in the evening, that would be the same as if you did 30 consecutive minutes, all right, at the same time. So if you don't feel like you have that chunk of time to devote or dedicate to movement, see if you can break it up into smaller bouts. And then remember, whatever you can do, it's always going to be better than nothing. Think also about breaking up sedentary time, all right? Taking standing breaks from your work. Maybe there are some things that you can listen to. Some of your books are available on tape and you can listen to it while you're walking or in the gym or something like that. All right. So see what little areas that you can do to sneak in some more activity. It's going to make a big difference in your immune system and function. The other tip is nutrition. Now, as we know, right, there are whole professions, majors like at URI related to nutrition and things that we can do to strengthen our immune system from that perspective. So let's keep it very basic here and feel free to go find more information or speak with a wellness coach or, something like that to get some more personalized information or answer your specific questions about this. But in a very basic way, more whole foods, less processed foods, okay? More fruits and vegetables, more things from the earth, less things from the package. These are ways that are really, really going to help make sure that you're getting in important vitamins, minerals, nutrients, things that your body needs to function well and to fight off disease. Now, when it comes to things like vitamins and supplements, there are absolutely tons of things and a whole industry out there on things that you can do to help. But that's a great conversation to have with a dietitian or with your physician. More water. All right, more water is going to be really, really important. This is our number 3. Even though it kind of falls into nutrition, we're going to give it its own step because it's that important. Most of us are not getting an adequate water, especially in the winter time. It can be even more challenging. In the summertime can also have its own challenges, right? We may sweat a little bit more, which is going to cause us to lose some of those fluids. But anytime is a good time to drink more water. Now, just like I mentioned with exercise, yes, we have this goal that we want to achieve, this number that we know is going to be very helpful. And when it comes to water, some recommend 64 ounces of water per day. Some recommend taking your body weight in pounds dividing that by 2 and drinking that many ounces per day. So just for math sake, if you weighed 100 pounds, dividing that by 2 would be 50. So you would want to drink 50 ounces of water per day. All right, so just as an example. But either way, maybe you're only drinking 10 ounces a day right now of water, or maybe you're drinking 0 ounces of water a day and you're surviving on coffee or something like that. All right, let's not necessarily go right to that big goal. Let's just little by little try to increase that, right? Some things that you could do are have a package of water. You could even probably have it delivered, right? And have it in your dorm room or your apartment or wherever it is that you live, having it available, making sure there's always a bottle in your backpack or your bag or whatever you're carrying around with you. Having a reusable one is fantastic as well. They even make some with little filters right on them. So you can fill it from just the sink in the bathroom or a water fountain and things like that. And it'll be filtered wherever you go if you want to drink filtered water. Another thing that you can do is drink decaffeinated herbal tea. That's another way to get water in and hydrate. Even things like fruits, there are fruits and vegetables that have a very high water content that are going to help keep you hydrated. Remember also, things with caffeine are going to dehydrate you. So, coffee, much as I love it myself, it does dehydrate us. So, we want to make sure that we're replenishing that and that we're drinking even more on top of it. A good thing to understand and to know is that once you feel thirst, once you actually feel that sensation of thirst, you're already a little dehydrated. So don't wait until you're thirsty necessarily. Try starting your day with water before you have anything else. Try getting it in with meals, getting it in whenever you can. But again, remember, anything is better than nothing, and we want to try to increase that a little bit at a time. All right. Number 4 is going to be sleep. Now, I know from being, university professor myself, from being a student myself, I did my master's here at URI, lost lots of sleep being on that campus, but we want to really focus on sleep when it comes to our immune system, guys. It's so, so important. You may be laughing at me right now, like, yeah, if I could sleep more, I would, but truly, and I always taught this to my students, you need to prioritize your sleep so, so much. All right. So, what does this mean? Now, like everything else I've said so far, we want to at least just get a little bit better, move that mark a little bit further from where you are right now. So, maybe it's going to bed a half hour earlier, an hour earlier. That would be optimal. Or getting up a little bit later, right? Depending on what your routine is, how your day is structured, that sort of thing. So, it's all going to be individual based on you. So, maybe there are some things that we need to do differently while we're awake to get better sleep at night. Now, how much sleep do you want to get? Experts say between 7 to 8 hours, give or take, depending on the individual. So, what I always love to do is I think, okay, what time do I have to wake up in the morning? And based on that time, what time do I need to go to bed in order to get a full night's sleep in? So that right there is going to give you great information. Right now, I'm waking up around 5 a.m. So I try to get to bed by 9 p.m. So you can play around with those hours. Now, let's say you're right now going to bed at like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, oh, shoot, I need to be going to bed by like 10. Now, day one, you may not necessarily fall right asleep at 10 if you've been in this routine for a long time. So you can just shave that back and start by moving in increments of 15 to 30 minutes, going to bed earlier and earlier until your body adjusts and is ready to go to sleep a little bit sooner. Also, getting yourself in a little bit of a routine at night is going to be very helpful. Caffeine, making sure you're not having that any later than 2 o'clock, especially if you have a hard time falling and staying asleep. Not eating too close to bedtime, not doing anything too vigorous physically, too close to bedtime. Things like that are going to be helpful. Turning off electronics before bed, dimming the lights before bed, making sure that you're in a dark environment. If you sleep with others, maybe earplugs. I personally need to have my earplugs in. I have a snoring husband, I have children in the house. I need earplugs. If your room is very bright, you can sleep with an eye mask, so or tie a bandana or a pair of leggings or something around your eyes to help block the light. These are all things going to be really helpful. Because if you can't get a long night's sleep in, we need to make sure that sleep is quality, okay? And the fifth one, the last one I'm going to leave you with, is probably the most important and something that we're going to have more videos on about, and that is stress. Stress directly impacts your immune system. So if you are stressed, you're going to be more susceptible to disease. I remember reading about a study while I was still in college that was so interesting. And what they found was college students were more likely to get sick at the end of the semester, like after the semester ended, after final season, because they were just go, 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 getting things done, pushing the limits, probably not sleeping, probably not moving their bodies, probably not eating the best. And then once the semester was over and things like that were done, crash, right? And everything would kind of hit and woof, can't get out of bed for a week, right? You probably have been there. You know what I'm talking about. So, what does that mean? We need to work on our stress throughout the semester. We need to work on our stress inside and outside of our school life. We need to look at this in so many different directions. So maybe there's professional help that you need to seek, a counselor, a therapist, right? Things like that. Or maybe it's just, a wellness professional or a coach helping you through some things like that. There are breathing exercises we can be doing, which, by the way, could also help you with sleeping. There are things like yoga class, again, Reiki, which I talked about in the first video. There are a lot of different tools that can help us with stress, but it's such an important aspect of things. We cannot have a healthy immune system without addressing that component. So, what are the emotions that are really getting to you? What are the thoughts that are on repeat in the mind? How can you tend to those, right? So that we can also have physical well being. All right. On campus, there are tons of resources available to you. So we will make sure that those resources are available so that you know where to go for more on any of this. But thank you so much for your time and for being here. And remember those 5 tips: move your body more whole foods, less processed foods, more water, more or better sleep, and work on that stress.